When you think of Copenhagen, what comes to mind? Canals, right? Bikes? For sure. But what about its history? What if I told you the city's greatest story isn't found in some old book, but it's built right into its very walls? Today, we're going to decode 1,000 years of history, one building at a time.
So let's just stop and think for a second. What can a building really tell us about the people who built it? I mean, are we just looking at stone and wood here? Or is it something more, like a silent witness to a city's soul?
Well, in Copenhagen, the answer is literally etched in stone. The architecture there, wow, it's like a 1,000-year-old saga of kings, merchants, and pretty much everyone in between. So where do we start? Right at the beginning, of course.
All right, let's dive in. Our journey begins way back, in a time when it was all about survival. Copenhagen wasn't the city we know today. It was basically just a fortified outpost. But, from these really humble beginnings, a total fairy tale city was about to rise.
This timeline right here captures a huge shift in thinking. We're talking about going from an era where buildings were just for survival to a time when they became this powerful statement of status and, pure ambition.
Try to picture this, a windswept fishing village. Just simple wooden huts, kind of huddled together. That was Copenhagen back in the Middle Ages. And the first stone buildings? Nope, not grand palaces. They were fortresses and churches, with these super thick walls and tiny windows, all built to stand up to a pretty harsh world. And then, everything changed. This new idea comes sweeping in from Italy, the Renaissance. And just like that, architecture wasn't just about function anymore. Now it was all about beauty, symmetry, and making a really bold statement of power and sophistication. Okay, Rosenborg Castle? It's the perfect example of this new way of thinking. King Christian IV did not build this for defense. No way. That striking red brick, those elegant spires, that was a full-on declaration of royal power for everyone to see.
So this new ambition basically set the stage for an age of just pure grandeur. We're talking kings and nobles in a full-blown competition to see who could build the most magnificent palace you could possibly imagine.
And this era was really defined by two competing styles. First up, you've got the heavy, super dramatic power of Baroque. It was all about overwhelming your senses. But then, after that, came Rococo, which was much lighter, more playful, and really focused on elegance and intimacy.
If you want the ultimate expression of Baroque ambition, look no further than Amalienborg Palace. Its 4 identical buildings create this absolutely stunning display of order and grandeur. It's a crystal-clear message of royal authority.
But you know how it is. After all that excess, the pendulum had to swing back. And it did. Neoclassicism was a big return to reason and order, inspired by the clean, timeless elegance of ancient Greece and Rome.
And this brings us to a really central conflict in Copenhagen's story. It's this constant push and pull between preserving its amazing history and, at the same time, creating a modern, livable city for a population that's just getting bigger and bigger.
You can actually see this conflict play out in two totally opposing architectural philosophies. On one hand, you had historicism, which was all about celebrating the past and creating this sense of national pride. But on the other hand, you had modernism, which was looking straight to the future, focused on simple, functional design for a whole new era. Now, Denmark's version of historicism, it was completely its own thing. It was called National Romanticism, and it was all about celebrating Danish culture. They used local materials, like red brick, to create buildings like the Copenhagen City Hall that just felt truly authentic. Then, a really simple idea came along that would change everything. Form follows function. That was the core belief of functionalism, a movement that basically said a building's design should be driven by its purpose and nothing else.
And listen, this wasn't just some abstract theory. With new materials like steel and concrete, architects could create these super practical, no-frills housing projects, like Bella High, and it completely transformed the lives of Copenhagen's working class.
Okay, so this brings us right up to the Copenhagen of today, a city that has really learned from its past to build a truly sustainable future. It's now a global leader in innovative, responsible design. It's pretty amazing. Today's architecture in Copenhagen is just a masterclass in balance. It seamlessly blends old with new. It uses modern materials, but with this deep commitment to sustainability. And it focuses on creating public spaces that really bring people together. I mean, just think of the stunning Royal Danish Opera House. It's this modern icon right on the waterfront. Or how about the 8 House, that revolutionary residential building that completely rethinks how we live in cities? And those are just 2 examples of Copenhagen's incredible creative spirit.
And all this commitment has definitely paid off. It's earned Copenhagen a huge global reputation. It's consistently ranked as one of the world's most livable and sustainable cities. It's a place designed not just for today, but for the future.
So what's the big secret to Copenhagen's success? Well, it's this beautiful, beautiful balance of all its different historical layers. And that's what creates a city that feels both timeless and totally forward-thinking at the same time. But you know, the story of Copenhagen isn't just told by its grand buildings. Not at all. It's in the spaces between them. It's in the canals, the bridges, and the public squares that were all designed to bring people together and create a city that's genuinely livable. When you break it down, Copenhagen's architectural DNA is really this beautiful harmony of opposites. You've got tradition meeting modernity, you have function meeting beauty, and history meeting sustainability. It's a city that has, without a doubt, mastered the art of balance. And so, that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about, right? If our buildings are writing our history, what kind of story will the cities we're building today tell about us tomorrow?